Now, all the organic molecules that we talked about in the previous videos can be classified into families. They can be classified into families according to the structural features. Okay, according to the structural features, and in turn, those structural features determine the chemical properties. Okay. So according to the structural features and chemical properties that depend on the structural features, the organic molecules can be classified into several families. Now, these structural features, meaning the specific structural units, are known as functional groups. Functional groups. Okay. Now, what are all the functional groups that we need to be aware of in this class? Please make sure you memorize the structural feature and the name of the functional groups using flashcards. So, alkane, for example, has a carbon-carbon single bond, also has a carbon-hydrogen bond. Alkene, carbon-carbon double bond. Alkyne, alkyne has a carbon triple bond. Okay, alkyl halide. Alkyl halide has a carbon halogen bond. What's a halogen? This halogen could be chloride or bromide or iodide. Okay, alkyl halide bond. Alcohols that have a OH bond, hydroxide group. Ethers, they have a COC bond. Now when I leave these spaces open, this could be any other carbon containing unit. Okay. Amines or amines, I will refer to them as amines. Carbon nitrogen bonds. Aldehyde and ketone. Aldehyde is C double bond OH. Notice that carbon now has one bond, two bonds here with oxygen, one bond with hydrogen, and one bond. So there's only 4 bonds around carbon, 2 of which are taken by oxygen. Ketone. Ketone is when you have a carbon double bond oxygen with a carbon unit and a carbon unit. Together, aldehydes and ketones together are known as carbonyl or carbonyl, whichever way you want to call it, carbonyl compounds. There is also carboxylic acids, C double bond O, OH, carboxylic acids. Esters, okay, and amides, amide as in sometimes also known as amide. Amide will have a C double bond O NH2 feature. Okay, sometimes this NH2 can be substituted, so you can have C double bond O and H, and instead of the second H there might be another unit, and we'll talk about each one of these functional groups, their synthesis, their properties, their uses individually.